All right, we're in the truck stop here today, and we're with a subscriber here, and we're gonna change an airbag on the truck here. Got an airbag leaking on his, what year is this International here?
2016.
2016 International Pro Star. So swung into Kenworth and picked, or International picked one up here. It is part number 1R12-432. Don't know if that'll match your truck or not, but this is pretty not too bad of a job. You if you can do it yourself, you can save probably 200 bucks in labor. They're going to get you for at least an hour, and then of course the obligatory shop supplies and environmental fees, and the fee that you have to pay to send their kid to college. So there's different ways you can do this here, but you know, take your pick. You're at a truck stop, you don't have a lot of resources. If you're home, you could actually put a jack or something under the rear end here to keep from settling when we release the air, or come on in here, this air line here, we got to release that air line. Some guys will like to pinch it off with the vice grips or bend it over to keep from losing all your air. I don't like to do that, because if we crack that air line, then we gotta find one, and if we're in a place where we don't have one, then we're in trouble. So I don't care if all that air leaks out. In fact, there's a way to deal with that. We'll cover that as we go. So first thing we're going to do here is I'm just going to buzz the if you carry an impact, just this one job here alone will pay for the cost of this impact. So you know, pick yourself up one, or you can do this with hand tools too. So we got a, come on over here, Daniel. We got to pull this nut off right here. Of course, that's going to be in the way, isn't it? Let me grab my wobble extension. So make sure you save your hardware. You're going to need to reuse it. So put that where you won't lose it. There, we got the bottom one off. Here's the nut for that. Okay, now the airbag is freed up. So what we got to do, when we release this air line, we're going to lose all the air and the suspension's going to settle. But that's okay. We'll come back to what to do about that in a minute. Need a different wrench here. This fitting's gonna come off, but we'll just wait till we get the airbag out. What we wanna do is push the airbag down. Then we gotta get it out of the, we gotta get the top bolt out of the frame here and the bottom bolt out of the spring. It can be kind of tricky sometimes. And come on over here for a second. So we got the top bolt out. All I did was, it was in there like that. All I did was push down. Now with that suspension settling, we're kind of playing beat the clock here a little bit. There we go. Here's your leak right here. One of them anyways.
Yeah.
You got a couple leaks there.
That's why we're changing it out.
Yep. So we had this little spacer in there. We want to make sure that goes back on top of the spring here. Right there. All right, so now let's take this old airbag here and get our fitting off of here.
Not in the box, is it?
What's that?
Another one?
Usually they don't come with them.
Yeah, why would they? It was only 150 bucks.
Yeah.
With Teflon.
All right, I do. So we take that out. Now there's different styles of these. Some will have internal threads, some will have external threads. Some won't have this riser here. Sometimes they'll thread right into the airbag. You know, if you can't get the correct style here, you can always get an adapter to get you down the road. So this is good and reusable. So we're pretty much done with this old airbag for now. Just going to take some white Teflon tape and retape the threads here. If you don't have any of this, you can get it in the truck stop for a couple bucks for a roll. The wind doesn't want to cooperate here. All right, I'm going to wait to thread this back in until I get it on the truck, because then I'll have it facing the right way and I won't have to worry about bumping it on something and breaking the fitting off. Gotta buzz this nut off the new airbag here. Now, you can use this new bracket or not use it, doesn't matter. The one on there, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So save a little bit of effort. We'll just use the one that's on there. Now this can be kind of the struggle part. Now, depends on how it works. Here, try to get it up here a little bit. You might have to air the truck back up to be able to squish this enough to get it in place. Now, all the air is obviously going to leak out of this holes. Just hold your thumb over the end and then the airbags will lift up. You got to start the truck, obviously. But let's just see if we can't get this in there without going through all that. That's right, I'll go underneath it. If you can keep me in frame there. All right, that wasn't too bad. Actually, that's the first time I've ever changed where didn't have to air up the truck. So let's just make sure we got her. You don't have the dimples on your frame. Now you'll notice here on the old airbag, you got a dimple here and one here. It's all filled in with crud. Some trucks, you're gonna have a dimple in the frame where you gotta get it into place and make sure that these dimples line up with the bubble in the frame, and then it'll kind of sit in place like that. But there's no dimples on that frame rail. It's just gonna sit like this. As long as you got the bottom bolt in and this top bolt in, it's gonna be lined up just how it needs to be.
Now, do you wait till you're all the way aired up to tighten everything down?
I get it started. Yeah. We want to get it started, and then yeah, we'll wait in case we got to make any adjustments. And sometimes you'll air it up if you don't think it's sitting right. Just drop it and loosen it up, and you know, wiggle it however you got to do it.
Go to do it, and truck will start up over here, APU unit starts up over there.
They can leak for a while. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and spin this fitting on here. You got nice fittings. Mine aren't this nice. Mine don't swivel. Here's swivel.
A lot of money pit in the guy.
Okay, then just while you got it apart, just clean up this hose a little bit. Sometimes you put them back together and they can leak. Just trim a new end on the hose, but not much though, because you don't have a lot of hose here to spare. And just push her in and pull it back. That locks it in. All right, let's start her up and see what we got.
Go.
All right, we are good to go. it aired up nice. What I just kind of being picky about it, what I like to look for is these, make sure it's straight up and down. You see the striations on there. If the airbag is twisted, you'll see that it's twisted. And then let's just check our fitting here for any air leaks. We're airtight there, so we're good. And I'm just going to buzz this top down tight. Okay, that's a pretty powerful impact, so don't sit here and just rail on it. That is a lock nut too. And then something else I like to check is, see this gap around this ring here? Make sure it's even. If your airbag is twisted, once again, you'll have more space showing on one side or another. Now on different trucks, this is important, like on the Freightliner. There's, you know, those dimples that were in the top of the airbag. The dimples are in this bracket here, and then in the airbag matching up to the bracket. So it's very easy to get that thing turned and off kilter, and you'll have a uneven gap there. So now we'll go underneath and tighten that baby up. Also, now what we're looking for down here on the bottom is between this, remember we have this spacer in here, great big old washer. I just want to look up top of it, make sure there's no gaps on one side or the other, and everything's sitting nice and flush like it should. Then she's nice and tight. Now some of these are just plastic down here. This one's plastic. You got ones that are metal. If you just sit here and hammer on this and over tighten it, you're going to crack that plastic, and you don't want to do that either. So if you're not sure how it should sit, just compare it to one of the other ones. Okay, but this looks really good. Once again, we're straight up and down, everything's secure, no air leaks. So if you like this kind of thing, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and we will see you next video.